Scream fans, thanks so much for clicking on this video. My name is Chris. It has been over 10 years since we got Ghostface on the big screen, but it's finally happening now. What I'm going to be doing here for you guys is giving you my trailer breakdown on the latest Scream movie. I'm going to be giving you character descriptions so you can know who all the fresh meat is, why they called it Scream instead of Scream 5, as well as pointing out Easter eggs and things you might have missed about who's surviving and possibly who could be Ghostface. But I'm going to need you Scream fans to give me your opinions down below. What did you think of this trailer? Does it make you hype for the new Scream movie? Do you feel like this is gonna honor Wes Craven? Because it feels very Wes Craven to me. As well as leaving me your own thoughts and theories down below. But don't be forgetting to hit that like button, okay? You don't want to know what happened to the last person who didn't hit that like button. That's right, Blondie. Alright, so just jumping into it, because this is a new trailer that'll get a lot of people aware about Scream 5, there might be a lot of people finding this video a little confused about what's going on. So a quick summary. The company Spyglass Media bought out the rights for the Scream franchise from the Weinstein Company when it went bankrupt. And obviously when you buy a new property, you want to go ahead and try and make new movies about that film. But in today's modern world, if you start putting numbers at the end of your movie, especially for a franchise that is close to 25 years old, it turns off a lot of new audience members. So the smart thing to do, even if it's a sequel, is to just call it by its original title to trick new audience members who are 80% of the people that are going to be bringing money to this film as just Scream. And hey, it's worked out for the Halloween franchise, Candyman. Us true fans will continue to call it Scream 5, aka 5 Cream. This will be directed by Tyler Gillette and Matt Oakland. They did go ahead and bring back the 3 original cast members, but it's going to be more of a passing of the torch as we're going to be following new main leads where Sidney, Gale, and Dewey are not necessarily the main characters. They are very important characters though. So now with that said, let me go ahead and show you the faces of our new fresh meat and a character description so you get an understanding of who they are in the Scream world. First up, we have our new Sidney Prescott, Sam Carpenter, played by Melissa Barrera. Her character description goes as 24 years old, smart and caring. She left her hometown when she turned 18 due to a troubled past and now has to rely on medication to feel sane. A former teenage bad girl who now works at a bowling alley and is in a relationship with Richie. Next up, Jenna Ortega playing the character of Tara Carpenter, 18 years old, Sam's younger sister whom she holds a grudge for having been left alone when she left town. Then you have Richie, 25 years old, Sam's kind and sweet boyfriend. He works with Sam in a bowling alley and is sensitive to her feelings. Mindy, played by Jasmine Savory Brown, 18 years old, Chad's twin sister. She is a very direct, outspoken person. An example is that she thinks Liv dyed her hair pink because she wants attention. And speaking of Liv, here she is, Liv McKenzie with her pink hair, 18 years old. She's an artsy girl with pink hair, Chad's girlfriend, and one of Tara's closest friends. Getting to Chad, played by Mason Gooding, 18 years old, Mindy's twin brother. He is athletic and confident, Liv's boyfriend, and wants to advance with their relationship. Speaking of relationship partners, you have Amber Freeman, played by Mickey Madison, who's 18 years old, tough and sarcastic. She is Tara's very protective girlfriend of 1 year and very much dislikes Sam. So this looks to be the girlfriend of Jenna Ortega's character. And then last but certainly not least for these character descriptions, Wes Hicks, played by Dylan Minnette, 17 years old, book smart, good kid who does not like to get in trouble. He is one of Tara's friends and Judy Hicks' son. Hopefully now, keeping in mind those character descriptions, it gives you a better idea of what you're witnessing now here in the trailer, because it opens up here with Jenna Ortega's character that we now know is Tara Carpenter. And yes, that seems to be a reference and a nod to John Carpenter. The Halloween franchise has always had a big influence with Ghostface. If you remember in the first Scream movie, they were watching the original Halloween by John Carpenter. Now, a lot of people are saying that it looks like Jenna Ortega might be the opening kill, and I certainly get those vibes here with the start of the trailer as she's texting her girlfriend Amber, only to find out it's not actually Amber texting her, but it's Ghostface who's using modern era technology like smart home systems to mess with his victims to go after them. I saw some backlash of this from people in the comments saying that this doesn't feel like Ghostface, using too much technology, but really that means you have not watched the Scream franchise, because technology has always been a part of Ghostface MO. In the original movie, don't forget they did the high-tech thing of cloning cell phones, which was a thing back in the 90s. When we get to Scream 3, he even has a voice-changing device that is so technologically advanced it copies other people's voices. And let's not forget Scream 4 4 using voice-changing apps and handheld webcams to record kills. Ghostface has always kept up to date with the latest ISO, so this fits good for me and I like it. But man, what I don't like is it looks like they might have spoiled this kill here with Jenna Ortega's character, as we see Ghostface slicing and dicing, and I don't know, but it looks like she's not gonna make it out of this, and I'm gonna be really sad if she actually bites the dust as the opening kill, because I love Jenna Ortega and I was looking forward to her in this movie, but there's a frame in this trailer that kind of shows she survives this encounter. But now that they've showed us someone new, we go back to original cast members, Sidney Prescott. Now, from everything that we've been hearing about Sidney, it is said that she is now married and has 2 children of her own, obviously living outside of Woodsboro, until she gets a call from her good old friend, Dewey Riley, who seems to be always keeping track with any Ghostface-related murders that come up. I guess after being attacked 4 different times, the paranoia would sit in that anytime there's a kill happening, it might be Ghostface, but this one stands out to him because there's a couple of connections to previous killers. By the way, though, I do love this line in the trailer.
Do you have a gun?
I'm Sidney Prescott, of course I have a gun.
We then cut to another new character in the movie who we don't have a character description for, but we do know his name is Vince, played by Kyle Gallner. Now, he's obviously going to be your typical bad boy, but it looks like we don't have a character description for him for a reason, because it looks like he's going to get sliced and diced by Ghostface. This guy, to me, was the obvious red herring, but no, I think it's pretty clear through a couple of shots in this trailer that he does bite the dust and gets killed off, which sucks, man. He had a really sweet car in some of the promotional images. And again, just want to point out, I love this shot of him right before he kills off his character in his shadow, made from the car onto the wall. Ooh, radio silence, beautiful, man. From here, we cut to our previous final girl, Sidney Prescott, now talking to our new final girl, Melissa Barrera, who already knows who Sidney Prescott is, either because she is a legend in this universe, I would imagine so, surviving so many Ghostface attacks, but this really puts a lot of our theories that we had of why Sidney would return to Woodsboro, and it looks like because she sees these murders happening and wants to help and mentor the next generation, which, yeah, that's pretty brave and a Sidney Prescott thing to do, so I'm down for that. We're then followed by a couple of shots of our characters that seem to be attending a party. We know eventually they're going to end up at the Stew House location. Right here, it looks like some local town arcade that they're all chilling at. The trailer then does go ahead and ruin another kill in the movie, as it looks like Mason Gooding's character, Chad, is not going to be making out as he's wearing a Woodsboro High Letterman jacket and Ghostface is about to stab him up. And I keep saying they're ruining kills, but we don't know the context of it. There's been several times where people have been stabbed by Ghostface and have lived to continue on, mainly Dewey Riley. Plus, it's really hard to have a trailer for your horror movie without showing a couple of slices and dices, so I forgive it. We have a shot of Melissa Barrera inside the old stew house talking on the phone with Ghostface. Really curious to see how this house plays into the finale of Scream. We get a little bit of a clue of how it will tie in when Dewey mentions there's rules, not really telling us what they are yet. I guess he's playing a little bit of a Randy role here. But the real shocker is that all the people being killed off are related to the original killers.
The attacks were all on people related to the original killers.
Now, what does that mean? Does it literally mean related by blood? Could we be seeing a lost child of Billy Loomis? Maybe he had an affair with somebody in the original Scream. They had birth in the background. That person's come back for revenge. I know a lot of people would love Matthew Lillard to come back, as he was supposed to be the original killer in Scream 3. So there's always rumors that his character is off in jail, still out there. But that is super intriguing to me, and I think really brings it together that the people in this new group are somehow related to characters in previous movies, specifically the original killers, Billy and Stu, or technically Roman, who was Sidney's half-brother, but I think they're probably going to ignore the events of Scream 3. We do then get some amazing shots in the hospital. That was even one of the promotional photos that came out of Ghostface haunting people in the hospital, and I think I was able to figure out why these characters are in the hospital and who Ghostface is going after, because while we have Dewey being a badass, hopefully he gets his Scream 2 cowboy music here. In a certain shot of the trailer, we see that Ghostface is breaking the leg of a character, showing how brutal he is in this movie that I love, but it obviously seems to be Jenna Ortega's character, and a couple of shots in the trailer, we do have what appears to be Jenna Ortega in a wheelchair in the hospital with a cast wrapped around her leg, so even if she is the opening kill, seems like she will survive her encounter with Ghostface, and he's gonna come back at the hospital to finish her off. Another intriguing scene that we get here of a returning character from Scream 4 is Deputy Judy Hicks, only this time Judy Hicks is the sheriff of Woodsboro, because Dewey Riley will be retired from that role. Heck, he's even said to be divorced from Gale Weathers, his wife, because she was given a show in New York, and then the stress of living over there was just too much for Dewey, so they split ways, and he returned to Woodsboro as Gale stayed in New York to do her show. It's also said he watches her New York show every morning as he's still in love with her. But we're following Judy Hicks, who is running down Woodsboro. It was rumored that there's going to be a sequence in Scream 5 where she receives a call from Ghostface that her son, played by Dylan Minnette, who is the character of Wes, yes, named after Wes Craven, is about to be killed by Ghostface, and Ghostface is taunting the mom by saying, "You're never gonna make it in time, I'm getting rid of your son." So this is the look of a panicked mother going after her child. I'm gonna be real curious to hear the explanation of how Dylan Minnette is Judy Hicks' 17-year-old son, because we heard no word of her having a kid in Scream 4. And when you pair up the fact that she also went to high school with Sidney Prescott, she could have been one of the students to have an affair with Billy Loomis and possibly give birth to Billy's unknown son, Wes. That could be the relation to one of the original killers, but that's just my speculation. From there, the trailer just goes full crazy, starts showing different shots of Sidney and Gale working together, Dewey being attacked by Ghostface, Richie as well. Like, they're showing us a lot of shots of people who we suspect to be the killer encountering Ghostface, but we all know this could be a red herring, as we know people who don the Ghostface mask are not afraid to be sliced and diced to look like innocent people. I gotta say though, I'm loving the brutality and kills in here, as one person is even being set on fire. But the thing that gave all Scream fans goosebumps is this shot of Ghostface encountering Sidney and donning the famous words,
"Hello, Sydney. It's an honor."
Oh, I cannot wait to see this movie and find out the reveal of how this is all connected and how they set up for future sequels, because you know, these days, you gotta have a sequel. Those are just my thoughts on some of the things I caught in the Scream 5 trailer. I want to know from you guys down below, what do you think about this? Who is your prime suspect? I'm thinking about doing a video on who I think will live and die and who will turn out to be Ghostface. Let me know if you guys would be interested in that, but don't forget to like, subscribe, follow me on Twitter at 3CFilms or on TikTok at 3CFilms. But as always, I'm Chris. Take care.